Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number seven of albums that are 20 years old in 2025. We're going back to 2005, picking out our favorite 15 albums because, of course, we're splitting the month in half, right? First half of the month, our 15 favorites from 2005. The second half, celebrating albums that are 10 years old, going back to 2015, our favorite 15 from that year as well. So today, for pick number seven, this is the second studio album by this Polish band, released on October 31st on Halloween 2005, recorded at Serco Studio and Hard Studio in Warsaw, Poland, produced by the band along with Magda and Robert Srednicki. Geez, I'm sure I'm butchering that. For Inside Out Music, I'm talking about Second Life Syndrome from Riverside. Yes, the great Riverside. Could be my favorite Riverside album. In fact, I've stated that on numerous occasions. One of these great bands that debuted in the early 2000s that is one of those bands that they are progressive rock, but they also are progressive metal. They take the best of both styles of music, throw in a little space rock and psychedelia in there as well. Just a terrific, terrific band that has their own sound. You know, they might be influenced by a couple other bands here and there, but they definitely have that sound. And since they have come out into prominence, there are a lot of bands that like have come in their wake that have kind of the Riverside sound, right? So of course, Mariusz Duda on vocals and bass, the leader, founder of the band. The late great Piotr Krudzinski on guitar, fabulous guitar player, greatly missed. Mikhail Lapage on keyboards and Piotr Kozeratsky on drums. Apologies if I'm saying some of those names incorrectly, right? This is a killer album. I do have the hard copy of it, but it's running a little late this morning and wasn't able to go dig it out and whatever, but at least you get to see it. Nice. The cover's great. Just nice big image here. It starts off with the dreamy, spacey, lush after. Quick little song to kick off the album, but it's a good one. Gets you kind of in the mood, but then ba-boom, Voltaface comes next, nearly 9 minutes long of crushing progressive metal. The guitar tones by Pieter on this album are killer. The riffs are great. The solos are great. This band is all about the atmosphere and just all about like these dramatic, emotional passages, right? So good. Conceiving You, cool little song, mostly piano driven, right? Piano and vocals, but it's brief. And you got some shorter pieces and some longer stuff on here. Speaking of longer ones, Second Life Syndrome, the three-part epic on here, just under 16 minutes long. Absolutely killer. What a journey they take you on. I love when this band goes from like these kind of like, kind of dreamy, atmospheric, kind of emotional passages, and then all of a sudden, boom, the big riffing comes in, fast and furious, right? Maybe a scalding guitar solo, maybe a little lead bass, right? And then all of a sudden it comes back, the keyboards come in and you get these kind of like these little interludes leading into the heavier passages and the great vocals. I mean, gotta mention Duda's vocals. They're so good. So good. He's got this kind of like, you know how like they don't sound at all alike, but you know how like Thomas England from Evergrey, he's got that kind of like real emotional vocal style. It's powerful, but it's just so dripping emotion. That's Marius Duda. Same type of thing. But again, they don't sound anything alike, but he's got that ability to convey that emotion at all time. You got the great Artificial Smile, some heavy hitters in the second half of the album. I Turned You Down, very cool. Reality Dream 3 is excellent. Instrumental, crushingly heavy. It's got some Dream Theaters type of moments. Then you got the another great epic called Dance with the Shadow, which is just under 12 minutes long. And then the last track is Before. And that's kind of spacey, kind of moody, kind of Pink Floydy. They got a little Pink Floydy thing going on in their music at times, which is kind of neat. To me, it's always like, you know, it's like, again, they don't really sound like any of these bands, but if you take like Porcupine Tree, Pink Floyd, and Dream Theater, mash them up together, that's kind of somewhat of Riverside's style. But again, they don't really sound like any of those bands, but there's little elements, right? But in using all that, they created their own style of music, which is really cool. Polish album charts. This made it to number 22. All right, not too shabby, right? It's too bad at this time the rest of the world was not quite hip to this band yet. And like I said, this their second album, Out of Myself, was in 2003, and they followed this up 2 years later with Rapid Eye Movement, which is another great one. And Conceiving You. was released prior to the album coming out, October 1st, as a single, right? And that's my pick for today. Second Life Syndrome, pick number seven from the great Riverside. It's a killer album. I love like revisiting. Let me turn my close the app off so you can see me in real. Okay. I love revisiting these albums. I generally go through and I pick them based on, what I like, what I've listened to in recent years. It's funny how different my list is now compared to my top list back in 2005 on the webzine. I think we've told that story. It's like, I always go back when I'm doing these more recent monthly rankings, and I'm like, all right, so how did I rank my favorite albums of the year on the webzine, the year it was happening? And then I'm like, look at the list, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I haven't listened to that album since, nor that album. And the one in my honorable mentions, I've listened to that a ton, and that would be my number three, right? But meanwhile, I just had it in the honorable mentions back then. So that for 2005 and 2015, there's been a lot of that. So the albums that I'm presenting here daily on the show, in a lot of cases, the ranking and the order is very different from what I did back 10 and 20 years ago. So if you ever have an interest in seeing, just go to www.seatranquility.org and go check out the annual best of lists, and you can see what we all picked as our favorite albums back in those particular years. So it's funny how some albums kind of come and go from your life, or maybe they increase in prominence or decrease, right? So it could be your favorite album of the year, and then all of a sudden 5 years later, you're like, yeah, I loved it then, but maybe not as much anymore. But this album, yeah, that so. Anyway, thanks for watching. List your pick down in the comments below and any comments you might have on Riverside. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options all down below. Thank you in advance for all your support there. It's greatly appreciated. And we'll see you soon here with more stuff, folks. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. I hope to have a review or two for you this week. I got to get to the new Sons of Ra. I've listened to it a few times. I probably need one more, and then I'll pump the review out. We got the new Smith Kotzen. We've got the two new releases from Ekelin. Got the new Flower Kings, new Benthos. We got, what else? The Far Cry. All sorts of stuff coming in. 2025 is we're in the swing of the new releases now. So took till April to finally get like caught up with everything, right? That's the way it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon here on the channel. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.